Is that Jackson Parodi that I hear?
Oh boy.
Oh,
It's
hi.
yours. Can you hear us, Jules?
I have to keep up with the famous sharp wit of Jackson Parodi.
I think you can. I think you can handle it.
I can never handle it. What's up, guys?
Howdy.
Hey, Jules.
Hey.
Welcome. Thank you for being with us, Jules.
You know, I keep telling myself I got to make it out to a Zeldathon. I promise I will.
This is close.
Yeah.
You're kind of here.
This is as close as you've
I'm just putting my toe in the pool here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We think you'd fit in great. The fans would love you. The viewers would just adore you and your wonderful quirkiness.
Thank you very much. I mean, if they can put up with you, I'm sure I'll be fine.
That's a low bar. So I'm gonna try to interview you while I play this. It's gonna be fun.
Have fun.
We'll start with the easy one. Give us some basic background info for the viewers at home who may or may not have heard of you or know about...
Come on, dude, Kevin.
Know about your involvement with this game because he's in
Evan.
this game. Calm down, Jackson.
Jules is a star. He doesn't have to tell these people who he is. He's a
There's
star.
a voice
You know what?
coming from
Hello,
nowhere.
chat.
Google him.
Thank you all so much for coming to Zeldathon.
He's got
I
a
think it's really
Wikipedia.
cool that you guys are all watching this great event that I watch every single event. My name's Jules. You might know me as FamilyJules for my video game guitar covers, or you guys might know me as Jules Conroy as the doorbell guy.
Doorbell guy.
I like doorbell guy.
Your true call to fame.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been making metal video game covers on YouTube for about almost 10 years now, and I worked on this game.
Sick.
Can you tell us how your work in this game began?
The composer of this game is Danny Baranowski, who also did work on Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac. Back in the day, I did covers of the Super Meat Boy music, and Danny had found my covers and apparently really enjoyed them. So he got a hold of me, and you know, I guess I played my cards right, because a few months later he asked me to do the guitars for the DLC for Binding of Isaac: Wrath of the Lamb. And apparently that went very well, because then he asked me if I would be down to do guitars for the Crypt of the Necrodancer, which was the original game, the predecessor of this one.
Sick.
And so exactly.
By the way, you died.
And so exactly in this game, are all
really
the guitars
did
you?
die.
Is that what we hear from you in this video game?
So the electric guitars and classical guitars are all me. The bass guitar is actually all Joel Ford, who did all the mixing and mastering. He's a award-winning bassist, and he really shines on the Bass Boss track. Yeah,
Jules,
he's
what's your
sucks.
memory of first meeting Evan?
Oh, good.
Who?
Who?
Thunderscott6267.
Yeah.
Thunderscott6267. That's right.
That's the one you met.
I met him at PAX East. I believe it was 2013.
Yeah. The one that actually MC and
Yeah,
Pop-Tart Gamer were at, apparently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Little known fact, Thunderscott6267, the first time that I ever talked to him, he won a contest that I had where the grand prize was you got to play Xbox 360 Minecraft with the one and only FamilyJules.
On stream.
Yeah, live on stream.
I
where
was the
using,
only one who
I
built us
think
a
it was
house, and guess who put lava in it?
Yeah,
Jules.
I lavaed everyone's
Jules
house
did.
after they won
Yeah.
my contest.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, now that I'm dead, let's see what I got. Okay.
You wrote down questions?
Yeah.
So, you're prepared for this?
Yeah, I'm
Let me see.
trying to be
Let me see.
prepared.
the question.
You trying to make fun of this man for being prepared
Let me
for
see these
an
questions.
interview?
Let me see these
For a
questions.
professional interview?
I'm trying.
I'm not gonna let you make fun of my man like this.
For those
Did
who
you
may
give him
not
the
know
question?
Jackson's
Yeah.
hijacking the interview.
Why did I give him my phone?
Hey,
That's
Jules,
a better question.
what was
I
your
was just wondering that.
Jules? What was your first Zelda game, and what was your experience with it?
My first Zelda game was actually the original Legend of Zelda for the NES, and it was also, I believe, the first game I ever played as well.
Really?
These questions suck.
it was.
All right, do better ones. Do better ones.
How about I am?
All right.
No. So yeah. Sorry. What was the second part of that?
Just what was your experience with it? Playing it for the first time?
It was too hard. I didn't understand it. I was really young, but I liked hitting stuff with swords. But there was definitely like I played. In addition to that, I had the cartridge that was it was the dual game of like Super Mario and Duck Hunt. So there was something really cool about Zelda where Mario didn't really seem to have like the depth that the original Legend of Zelda had. So the original Legend of Zelda was definitely my first experience with kind of just like I don't know, like immersive gaming, you know.
So, Jules, this game features many different Zelda tracks from the entire series. What is your favorite track from the entire Zelda franchise?
So I'm a dark broody edgelord, so I'm gonna go with the same answer that every frequent Hot Topic goer says, and that's the Nocturne of Shadow from Ocarina of Time. Mostly because it's also like, I mean, you would appreciate that one too, Jackson, because it's the music theory behind it is really interesting.
How so? Just like briefly.
Maybe Jackson can tell you. Jackson, what's going on in that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson.
I'm putting him on the side. It's actually like. So I do this panel at a lot of the cons I go to with Insane in the Rain music, Stab Irene, which you guys all know, and the 8-bit.
Wait, don't tell me, Jules, don't tell me it's the music theory of video games. Don't tell me it's music theory of video games.
It pretty much is, yeah. But we do a different one each year, and we're doing the new panel this MagFest on modes. So how each mode of the major scale is used in video games. And I remember we were specifically looking at Nocturne of Shadow and just being in awe of just how weird that song is. It's really cool. You like video games in theory, right?
So, Jules, Link, Zelda, or Cadence? Who's your favorite?
Gotta go with Zelda, man.
Zelda.
Heck yeah.
I wish Zelda was a girl though, you know.
True. I remember buying that on a Walmart T-shirt one time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Target, actually.
Target? Okay.
So, Jules, out of all these Zelda games, which is your favorite Zelda game? If you could only pick one.
Lately I've been really partial to Link's Awakening. I used to say Link to the Past, I used to say Ocarina of Time, but I think Link's Awakening is the one that really it's got an atmosphere that I really like, and I really thought they also captured it really well with the remake that came out this year.
Well, Mr. Interviewer, go on.
You're the one with the questions. You're the one who prepared.
No, they
Go
weren't
for
good
it.
enough. They weren't good enough.
Take the ball.
They weren't
Grab
good
the ball.
enough. No.
Come on, don't be like this. There's a star on the line, and you're gonna act like this.
Okay,
It ain't my fault.
Let me not die then. Oh yeah. Do you wanna tell us a little bit about the like loot jingle that you did in this game?
Oh, yeah. So when I was originally told that I could potentially be working on this, one of the things that Danny was saying was he really wanted me to at least do the loot warp song, because I think he wanted that to be like a live guitar, or a live loop. And I was telling him, so I studied classical guitar in college, and my professor and teacher was actually really well versed in a lot of lute music, so he taught me a lot of different techniques for making a classical guitar sound as lute-like as possible. I threw it all out the window because Danny doesn't write for guitarists. He writes really, really, really difficult music to play. And the lute jingle, when I first heard it, because Danny will send me MIDI of what he wrote for it, and then I have to kind of transcribe it for guitar. There was an obvious way of doing the fingering for it, and I realized that if I alternated it slightly, I could get kind of more of some more sustain out of the notes. But what it ended up doing is making it actually really difficult to play. So I actually had a really hard time with it, even though it sounds very easy.
Speaking as a fan of the Zelda franchise, how does it feel to have your music in an official Zelda video game?
It's I mean, I don't want to sound like, you know, the obvious answer of like I don't have words, but going to, you know, working on it, you kind of just have to kind of like put it out of your head. Like every once in a while, I would just be like, okay, I am working on an officially licensed Zelda game today, and that's just how my life is going right now. And I kind of swallow that, and then I get to work because I mean obviously a ton of work to do all of the guitars and stuff for this game, but it's weird. It is super overwhelming having so much of my upbringing dedicated to playing The Legend of Zelda. So almost so much that I remember going to PAX West where we had the entire Cadence of Hyrule set up with, you know, brace yourself there, showing off the game, and I'm looking at it, and it just, I had that like Westworld experience where I'm just like, this doesn't look like anything to me. It's just like this like black nothing there, just because it was so overwhelming that like, one, this exists. Like, first of all, I mean, you know, a indie developer getting to work on one of Nintendo's most valued IPs. I believe this is the first time since the CDI games.
Really?
I don't really understand why. I mean, you know, yeah, I wonder why it's been so long since the CDI games. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I'm very sorry I spoke over the amazing bass boss music.
It's okay. We can hear the jingle.
Maybe as we wrap up, maybe we'll ask the chat room if they have any questions for Jules. They can put in the chat room. We can relay a few of them over.
Sure. Yeah.
But just do a little bit. You can find Jules for sure on YouTube. He's been there for a lot of years, especially for musicians like Evan and myself and others here, and Dan on the microphone. Jules was there when we were sort of starting up and looking and seeing at this stuff, and so Jules was really a pioneer in that sense of, especially for electric guitar and rock and metal music, being used for video game covers. For, I think probably for all of us, many of us in that field, that was a brand new thing that we didn't even know about. And then Jules was there in his attic, covered with you know, band posters and graphic tees and whatnot.
The slanted room.
Right.
The slanted room, yeah. And so
Right.
Jules is very influential in that, at least in
Absolutely.
that sense.
Definitely
Thank
set
you for
an
those kind
example and a
words.
tone.
So you can find Jules on YouTube. He's got a bunch of videos. He releases videos every week. He has a lot of stuff recently from the new Pokemon game, and he covered the Overworld from the Link's Awakening remake. So check him out definitely on YouTube, everywhere else. We'll plug you at the end, Jules. We got some questions, I think. From Epic Awesomeness 5, Jules, what is your third favorite color?
Red.
Yeah.
Solid.
Good.
That's solid.
Succinct.
Jules, do you still have the Megalovania doorbell?
No, currently it is the tune "Never Going to Give You Up" by Rick
Yep.
Astley.
Oh.
That's the current
By-
doorbell.
I've heard of that one.
Richard
yes.
Astley, what a performer.
Our good friend Richard.
Richard Von Astley.
So from Eternal Zero, Jules, you've worked now for the Zelda franchise. If you could pick another video game franchise to contribute for, what would it be that you haven't already worked for?
It would definitely be the F-Zero series. I know that we haven't seen a new game in a very long time, but that would be like the ultimate pinnacle of like, yeah, I mean, playing guitar on an F-Zero, even just one track would absolutely be a dream, because that was kind of the first stuff that really like, you know, like hearing, you know, the music to F-Zero and F-Zero X and stuff. That was the first time I ever heard like really like fast, shreddy like metal guitars, and it absolutely blew me away. And you know, I mean, obviously that had an impression on me since I'm still doing it to this day.
Jules, from Rihanna, what was your biggest challenge working on this video game?
Say that one more time.
What was the biggest challenge you had working on Cadence of Hyrule?
Danny doesn't write music for guitarists.
He really doesn't.
He clicks in notes into a piano roll. Sometimes may or may not be within the range of a guitar. I was when I worked on Binding of Isaac, he wrote a song that was in A, and I needed the A that you would normally have on an extended range guitar, which I didn't own at the time. This time I had an 8-string and a 7-string, which I'm pretty sure I used both for this soundtrack. So I was a little bit more equipped, but he definitely knew that and took advantage and went complete freedom mode on this and wrote a lot of tracks that were very, very, very difficult to play.
I saw a question I like from Nintendo Capri Sun. Do you sing in the shower? And what do you sing?
I don't sing in the shower.
Really? Why?
I would lie if I said I do.
It's fun, dude.
The shower is it's a time of reflection.
Have you ever tried?
I do
It's
a lot
a
of
holy
introspective
place.
thinking.
The shower is a holy place.
Evan,
So-
Evan, anything else you want to?
No, that's good on my end.
Okay, so of course follow Jules on YouTube, youtube.com/FamilyJules7x. If that's still and Twitch, or no, on Twitter, I'm sorry, at FamilyJules7x.
I really appreciate everybody who is enjoying Cadence of Hyrule. And other than that, thank you all so much for hanging out with Zeldathon. It's a great cause, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you very much for taking the time, Jules.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you here in person one day.
I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for having us.
Good night, Jules. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.